And every time we try to talk about this, this is not the first time. We always have this feeling. Even some people send mails and comments. They say it looks like it's a difficult thing even for lawyers to comment on, because sometimes the truth is somehow hidden. They say that because, first, someone has made an allegation. There's an affidavit which before anyone could even receive that, it was in the press to start with. And there was this pressure on the PCA to withdraw that said affidavit, which he did. And now we're going back again to the courts, which ordinarily, or in the first place, he was asked not to go to. So what exactly do you think in an ideal situation should have happened? Should we have allowed him go ahead with that affidavit, which he swore to, and act on it, rather than ask him to withdraw it at that point in time?
Fundamentally speaking, constitutionally speaking, the PCA is a citizen of Nigeria. He is entitled to go to court to address any wrong he feels has been done against him. So, to that extent, he has every right to have sworn to an affidavit and gone to court. However, if for any reason he was advised to withdraw the matter, he also has the right to withdraw the affidavit. From those two angles, there is nothing wrong in putting in an affidavit in respect of a suit and withdrawing it. I don't know if I've answered your question.
No, you have, but again, you look at it now, because we're going back at one. They call it back at one, because now he's going back to where he was coming from. Because now
he's not going back to where he was coming from.
Yes.
Probably he is taking from where he stopped. He's collecting what he left behind and adding some elements too. Because presently he is opposing the report of the NJC pro panel.
You know, some people.
So there's a whole difference in the nomenclature, in the picture, you know, in the context of his present lawsuit.
You know, the way some information can really get to some people is not the way the same information really doesn't get to the same people at the same time. Yes. Now, we're getting to see that particular report which we saw yesterday, where the NJC shut its doors against the counsel from Mr. Ayoslami. Yes. Those now the NJC has reacted to all of that, saying that that particular document wasn't signed. Yes. But some say some other people who saw that first act by the officers at the NJC didn't even get the chance to also see the explanation from the NJC. Yes. So what kind of attitude would the ordinary Nigerian be having with regards to summons in the future?
For the ordinary Nigerian who saw the action of the NJC to always reject court processes. We in the law profession, we see it often. Sometimes lawyers themselves frustrate service. But where it comes from, the hallowed chambers of the NJC, you start to question whether yes, the system is correct. But having said that, thank God they have accepted service.
But did you think there's anything going to be wrong? For instance, I mean, it's still... I've asked that question. First of all, what were cameras doing there? Is it the norm for when lawyers are going to go and serve? I mean, let's take a rather objective look at this. Yes. Is it a norm, or did they suspect that this was going to happen?
It's not the norm for press cameras to follow lawyers to serve court processes. It's not the norm. But you must understand the peculiar nature of this case. It has national implications, and it's a sellout for the pressmen. So their noses are very sharp to sniff out
so
any
news hands just had to do what they had to do.
Yes, news, yes.
No,
and you can't stop it.
Someone said that it's possible that, you know, they've already said maybe we're coming to serve you people, and they already said something like maybe don't waste your time.
Well,
if that happens,
yes,
that could, you know, possibly explain why they went with cameras.
Yes.
But
yes.
When is it like as if you're going to go and serve a former warlord? Because if you were going to serve a former warlord, for instance, you would suspect that he would refuse service. But for the NJC for us to suspect any foul play at all.
I think whoever, if I am not saying let us assume the lawyers to the PCA invited the press without conceding. We are not saying they did.
Does the press need an invitation for this kind of matter?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. It's a sniffy thing. You sniff it that it's happening.
There before they come.
Before they even come. So having done that, having sniffed it and having gone there, there is nothing absolutely wrong with even the PCA's lawyer allowing them to see the process. because it's part of the evidence that you can bring before the law court of
That this
attempted
happened.
service. Yes.
But the comments from former Attorney General
Akinolujimi.
exactly.
Sam.
Because the question, I mean, I did talk about the impression that the average person will get. But having said that, that document was not signed, the subsequent reaction we got.
Yes.
So could it be that he, from all intents and purposes, thought, no, whether I signed or not, you should accept it, because you say, if it's got a stamp,
Yes.
you can accept it. But go to court and sort your case out.
Of course, if you got a stamp of the
Whether
the
it's
High
signed
Court,
or not.
if it's not signed, it's a matter for you to go to court and ask the court to disregard the documents, to throw out the
upon
documents.
what does the
but
FGC
the good faith as a legal practitioner or as a litigant asks of you to accept processes and then look at those processes, go to the court and argue your case against the contents or the procedure of the processes. What we are asking for here is that present yourself in good faith in the whole picture. If the court processes served on you were not signed, but stamped by the court with the court stamp, you collect
But
it.
could it
Go
be
to the
that
court.